You may be seated. We're gathered here in the sight of God in the presence of these witnesses to join together this man and this woman in the holy state of matrimony. Marriage is a covenant of faith and a trust between a man and a woman. And it requires of both the man and the woman an openness in the life and thoughts and freedom of any doubt. Marriage also is a covenant of hope that endures all things, in which both husband and wife commit to each other. Marriage is a trust in which both husband and wife empty themselves of their own concern and take upon themselves the concern of each other. So that marriage should not be entered into it unadvisedly, nor lightly, but reverently and discreetly and advisedly in the fear of God. Who gives this woman to be married to this man? You look awful pretty. Ramey and Megan, you are both about to take one of man's most solemn and sacred vows. And I want you to realize the seriousness of these vows that you're about to take. And I want you to be aware and forewarned that if either of you enter into these vows any other way than what God's law allows, your marriage is not lawful in His sight. If you realize the seriousness and the responsibility of these vows, will you then signify your intentions of taking one another as husband and wife by joining your right hand? Will you, Ramey, with all the willingness of heart and sincerity of mind, take Megan to be your lawful wedded wife? Will you live with her in the holy state of matrimony? Will you love, honor, and provide for her in all the situations of life? Will you comfort and protect her from all harm? And will you supply all her needs? And that the strong assurance as head of your home, you will keep yourself for her and her only as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Will you, Megan, with all the willingness of heart and sincerity of mind, take Ramey to be your lawful wedded husband? Will you live with him in the holy state of matrimony? Will you honor, love, and provide for him in all the situations of life? Will you comfort him and meet all his needs? Will you be that ornament of meekness and humility in which your husband can draw strength and your future family can find peace? Will you keep yourself for him and him only as long as you both shall live? Ramey and Megan, God has always used a token and a symbol of a covenant between himself and man. And as a token of his eternal love for us, he sent his son to purchase our soul from eternal destruction. For example, we learned that when we enter into a solemn agreement, we should choose a token as a reminder of what we should promise, what we have promised. Have you chosen a token of your love and affection for each other? We have. Can I have these tokens? I see that you have chosen rings as your symbol of love for each other. Nothing could be more fitting as a token of love for these rings than these rings. Rings have been used as a token of love since the beginning of time. Man has long used rings to express their love. Rings are a circle of an eternal and shows us how long and lasting your union should be. There also shows us the encircling of God's divine power to unite you as husband and wife. These rings should be a constant reminder to the world, and how sincere and priceless your marriage and covenant is to you. You take that ring, place it upon it, and repeat after me. Did you want her hand? Okay. Repeat after me. I, Ramey.
I, Ramey.
Take you, Megan.
Take you, Megan.
To be my wedded wife.
To be my wedded wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better.
For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor. In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Until death do us part. According to God's holy ordinance.
According to God's holy ordinance.
And I pledge to you my life.
And I pledge to you my life.
And eternal love.
And eternal love.
And with this ring I thee wed.
With this ring I thee.
And with all my worldly goods.
And with all my worldly goods.
I thee endow.
I thee endow.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen. I, Megan.
I, Megan.
Take you, Ramey.
Take you, Ramey.
To be my wedded husband.
Be my wedded husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poor.
In sickness and in health.
And in sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Until death do us part.
Until death do us part.
According to God's holy ordinance.
According to God's holy ordinance.
I pledge to you my life.
I pledge to you my life.
And my eternal love.
And my eternal love.
With this ring.
With this ring.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
With all my worldly goods.
With all my worldly
I thee endow.
I thee endow.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Ramey and Megan are starting a new tradition as a sign of their love for one another. The entwining of their loves and the fire that burns within their soul for one another. Gathered together among friends and families, they now brand this piece of wood. This brand in which they have created will be on permanent display in their home to show their devotion to each other today, tomorrow, and the rest of their lives, to help them find their way back home if ever lost in the turbulence of storms of life, to remind them of the love and the support for each other, and have given themselves today, and that you will continue to give each other every day. As the brand cannot be undone, so shall their promise of each other stand in the test of time. Ramey, always remember your duties and responsibility to this woman that you have chosen to your wife. Guard her and keep her and provide for her happiness. Don't lose the sight of the things that first drew you to her, and always be that pillar of strength that she can find safety in. Megan, don't forget the joy of this day and the happiness that you now feel. Don't forget the love that you have promised to this man you have taken as your husband. Support him, hold him up in all that he does, and be that strong assurance that he will need as you journey through life together. Ramey, and Megan, in the years to come, always remember this day and the treasure that it represents to you. Let this day always be the guidepost to your future together. And when any doubt or fears come, let the joy and hope that you express today clear always the misgiving and trials. Always remember to be kind and truthful with one another, and to raise your family in the same love you now possess.
Our Father, God in heaven, hallowed be thy great holy name. We thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day, and we thank you, Lord, for the many blessings of life that you freely give to us. Father, as these two come together, Ramey and Megan, and become one flesh, we pray your blessing upon them, that they will diligently strive to live a life of husband and wife as you have set forth in your New Testament pattern. We pray, Father, that you would help them strive to maintain a Christian home. We pray that you allow the only other clouds to have a beautiful sunset. We pray, Father, that you would be with us. We thank you for all those that have come to celebrate this joining of these two. We pray that you would give all a safe journey back home, if it be your will. And we pray these things in Christ's name. Amen.
For as much as Ramey and Megan have consented together in the holy state of matrimony and have witnessed the same before God and the host of family and friends, and have vowed the vows to each other, and have given and receiving rings to one another, I, as a modern-day minister, and with a license to do so by the state of Oklahoma, pronounce them husband and wife. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, those that God have joined together, let no man put asunder. You may kiss your wife. Now just hang on a second. Hang on a second. Normally at this time we introduce for the first time, but I'm going to do a little something different. I'm going to be the first to kiss the bride. She means a lot to us. I'd like to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Ramey Jernigan. You know, after 40 years, you think that you would be able to stand up there and do something. But sometimes, I always get a little nervous. But, I thought it was a beautiful wedding. You could feel the good presence of the Lord here. And there's a reception. And the only way I can tell you is just go the way that you came in. And it's the first building as you come in, the big one on the right-hand side. And at this time, on behalf of both families, thank you for making this a joyful time and to help celebrate the marriage of Ramey and Megan.
take my hand, and I'll be the man your dad hoped that I'd be. And we'll build this love from the ground up, for worse or for better. And I will be all you need. Beside you I'll stand, through the good and the bad. We'll give all that we have, and we'll build this love from the ground up. Someday we'll wake up with thousands of pictures of 65 years in this little house. I won't trade for nothing the life that we built. I'll kiss you goodnight and say I love you still. And we'll build this love from the ground up, for worse or for better.